I've had this idea for a while now to take some artwork and turn it into a real tangible object. So for this project, we're going to be taking the artwork from a Magic the Gathering card called Chaos Orb, a really iconic card with artwork done by Mark Tedin, one of my favorite Magic the Gathering artists, and somehow we're going to turn it into a real object that you can see and touch and hold. And if I can get this project done in the next couple of weeks before MagicCon Chicago, I'll actually be able to give this Chaos Orb to Mark Tedin. So let's get going. So the first thing I do is try and sketch out my ideas so that way I have a plan on how I'm going to make this object. Now I know I'm going to need the Chaos Orb monster itself with lava coming out of its mouth, but when we get down to the lava pool underneath, it gets a little bit tricky because if you look at the artwork, you can't really tell where the lava pool ends. It's maybe in this cave or something. And so I needed to figure out what the lava was going to be contained inside. But I have an idea. Let me go grab something. And the idea I came up with was from this other card from Mark Tedin called Mana Vault, which has this kind of cool well underneath it. So I thought it would be cool if the lava was coming out of the Chaos Orb's mouth and then pooling kind of in this well underneath. And the well would give it this nice foundation so that it could hold up the Chaos Orb and the lava on top of it, as well as then I would have room to put something underneath the lava like a light or something, so that way the lava could be glowing. And so I figured out that I was going to have to make 4 different pieces in total. The Chaos Orb monster as one piece, the falling lava as piece number 2, the lava pool as the 3rd piece, and then the well as the last piece. Or at least that's the plan. So the next step is to decide what kind of material I actually want to build this object with, and originally I thought maybe I should make it with clay or XPS foam so that way I could just sculpt it with my hands, but I've been doing a lot of 3D printing lately, and so I thought, man, I would love to 3D print this Chaos Orb. But there's only one problem. I don't know how to 3D sculpt. But honestly, it's something I've been wanting to learn for a while now, and so I took this as an opportunity to force myself to learn a 3D sculpting program. And the one that I decided to use was Nomad Sculpt. And honestly, it wasn't too bad to get into. I was able to pick up on it pretty quickly. And another nice thing about Nomad Sculpt was that I was able to load it up on my iPad. So that way I could just work on it whenever I had some free time. And once I got into it, sculpting was actually pretty enjoyable. But yeah, here's how the models turned out. And I eventually got the Chaos Orb to a good place. I had to restart on it a couple of times, but I actually really like how it turned out. So the next step is to actually 3D print everything. So let's get printing. So afterwards, I spent some time cleaning off all of the supports, and everything turned out looking really good. Well, almost everything. For the lava parts, I used this transparent orange filament, which for the falling lava part, it ended up turning out really nice. But as you can see with the lava pool part, it ended up having some problems. Because it was a transparent PLA filament, you could see the infill lines inside of it, and then the top was really rough, not smooth at all. But after a lot of trial and error and switching settings around, I was able to get a piece that turned out much better. The lava ripples on top were really smooth, and you couldn't see the infill lines anymore. So that way the light would be able to shine through it really well. And speaking of the light, I tried to find a really nice LED light online, but in the meantime I didn't want to wait, and so I ended up going to the dollar store and found these LED lights that I was going to use until my other one came. And so putting all the pieces together, this is what it looked like. I put the LED light inside of the well, then I put the lava pieces together and added the Chaos Orb on top, and now it's really cool to see it all start coming together. And I haven't even painted the different pieces yet, but I'm excited because it's already looking really good. And even better once you turn the light on. So while I wait for my actual light to come, I'm gonna get some painting done. So let me just stop real quick so I can show you the progress here. So the reason that I printed this in black to begin with was because I wanted to keep these darks, these shadows inside the mouth, inside the cracks. And so now that I'm painting it, I'm just using a gray color to paint all of the raised surfaces. And you can see it's starting to get some good contrast now. Let me show you a before and after. So here's the before with just the black, not painted. And then once I start painting on the gray, this is how it looks. So now that we've got the black in the shadow areas and we've got a nice kind of mid-gray color, we're gonna add some highlights. So we'll paint a light gray color for the highlights, and then the only other thing after that will be to paint the eyes. So this is how it's looking, and honestly I'm really happy with this simple color scheme. It's looking really good to me, and so I don't think we're going to do any more painting. But now we can take a look at the light which came in the mail, and as you can see it's battery powered, but the way that you access the batteries is on the bottom, and so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut a hole in the bottom of the well so that way you can access the batteries and the on-off switch. And the other thing I realized I needed to modify with one of the prints, the falling lava piece would sometimes slip through the bottom of the lava pool piece, and so I just needed to add a bottom layer to that so that way it was closed at the bottom of the hole. But after changing those things and reprinting them, the only other things we have to do is paint the well and then glue everything together. So I've got the Chaos Orb all finished up, and I'm gonna actually be giving it to my friend John today so he can take it to Chicago with him. And something cool that I found out about is that Mark Tedin, the artist, got married lately, and so this is gonna be kind of a belated wedding gift for Mark and his wife Wynne. And if my friend John's able to get a video clip of them opening the gift up, then I'll definitely include it in this video. But just to head off any questions before they come in, no, I'm not gonna be selling any of these Chaos Orbs. I don't have the rights to sell them. And so this is just a nice gift that I'm giving to Mark Tedin, the artist, just so we can see his art brought to life. But I did actually make an extra Chaos Orb that I'm going to be giving away at the end of this video, so stick around if you want to enter that. And just a quick plug for my Patreon. If you guys like these videos that I'm making, please consider checking out my Patreon. Patreon's also the place where I put some of my design files, my STL files, and I'm actually probably going to be opening up commissions again for my patrons. And so if you're interested in any of those things, or if you want to support the channel, go check out my Patreon. The link is down in the description. So today is Saturday, and MagicCon Chicago is actually happening right now, and my friend John was able to deliver the Chaos Orb to Mark, and not only that, he was able to get a video clip of him opening it up, and so let's take a look at that now.
Oh no.
And it turns on. It lights up. There's a switch on the bottom.
Get the switch. There we go.
It was really cool to get to see Mark holding the real-life Chaos Orb in his hands, and I'm glad the timing worked out that I was able to give them this belated wedding gift. And because the Chaos Orb was a little bit more of a gift for Mark, I wanted to include something for his wife Wynne as well. And since I knew she was a fellow photographer like me, and because I got into leatherworking last year, I just happened to have some nice Italian leather that I used to make her a cool vintage camera strap. And luckily John got her reaction as well.
Wake up clock or something.
What did you
do?
You gave me a camera strap.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank you. Very nice. Oh.
It really did make my day to be able to give them these gifts and then see their reactions. Mark and Wynne are two of the nicest people, and I try to talk to them every magic event that I go to. And so it really did make me happy to be able to give them this gift. And this was a really fun project to work on. Hopefully you enjoyed the process with me as well. I'm going to show you some shots of the final product so you can see how nice it turned out. And then after that, I'll tell you how you can win one of these for yourself. So let's take a look. So if you want to enter the giveaway for this extra Chaos Orb that I made, all you have to do is like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and then leave me a comment down below. And that's it. And if you do that, you'll be entered into the giveaway and one lucky person will win this Chaos Orb. Stay tuned because I have more fun videos on the way. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, bye.